Your spot, sure don't stop, it's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired, can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe, never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Yeah, beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
Trouble keeping up with the Joneses? It's the coach. This is the 2020 season on EA Sports. Straight ahead, Aaron Jones, no picnic a week ago. He's looking for another big game, as it'll be the Detroit Lions taking on the Chicago Bears. With that, let's get out to venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Standing by with the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Well, they say an early season snowstorm may be on deck in less than 48 hours, but today is picture-perfect fall football weather. Crisp and cool at Soldier Field in the Windy City. Introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
And I like his honesty, because when we sat down with him, I mean, he was the first one to say, that was on me last week, a really poor performance. Way too many interceptions, didn't find the end zone throwing the ball, put his defense and his special teams in some real jeopardy, but somehow they won the game.
They won.
Yeah, what I loved about it is when he told us about the defense kind of corralling him in the locker room and said, all right, my man, we're not going to do that again this week, are we?
What you got?
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. That one a first down pickup of 8.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it's going to be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. Rodgers now to throw. And his throw is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. And now it's 2nd down. And now the offense for Detroit.
And they're coming off a good win on the road last week, but they do know that they have a home game next week. So all the focus has to be, can they get a second win on the road and make going home that much sweeter? That's the intention in this ball game.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Rodgers. And the catch good. It's Eifert. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's see. Yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
Defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end. Let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive. Couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
And when you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is, how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make.
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how he wanted to start here.
Not at all, but this is where a quarterback gets tested. This is where we find out what he has underneath that jersey, because he had a bad game last week. Can he shake off a bad start to this one and start to perform at the level he expects?
After the interception, here's Ryan. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They become a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing. But I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
A gain there of 12 yards and a 1st down for the Bears.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
On 2nd and inches, Ryan. And he's got it complete to Anderson. A gain of just a yard, but it's a 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Here's Ryan. That'll be taken in by Anderson. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Ryan, they'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. A loss of 8 that time, and it brings up 3rd down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them, ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Update now from a game going on in Pittsburgh. And the early going, it's the Texans out in front. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. And he held on to it too long. A coverage sack. Down he goes. Damon Harrison bringing in 341 pounds of power for the sack.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Back deep, Jarvis Landry. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And 1st and goal is what it will be at the 6-yard line. Excellent field position. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against the zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this 1st quarter. The man they call Snacks, Damon Harrison, in there for the sack on what will be the final play of this 1st quarter. Kick is good. And it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now Aaron Rodgers in the offense heading back onto the field. Interesting stat line right now. And technically, he's completed 4 passes, 2 to his team and then 2 to the wrong team.
It makes you wonder what he's seeing downfield because he has completed 2 passes to his own team, but the interceptions are troubling. Is he going through the wrong reads, the wrong progressions? Is he getting fooled by defenses? They've got to figure that out over on the sidelines, working on that Surface Pro to see what they see. I'd say it's a pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 3 to go. On 3rd down, here's Jones. 3rd down turns to 1st with that 5-yard pickup.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a 1st down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now they'll throw with Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 40, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. On 2nd and 11 now. Ryan. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. Now Ryan on 1st down. And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
On 3rd down, Ryan. He gets it to Brown, complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 14 yards into Chicago, 1st down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a draw play to McCaffrey. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Ryan, he finds his man, the tight end Olsen.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a 1st down.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. That's complete right around the 8. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he's got it. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears.
Christian McCaffrey, his 6th touchdown of the season as the Bears push further out in front.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint. Down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
On 2nd and 12, Rodgers. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target.
319.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Jones. Tavon Young in on the tackle.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit.
14. First down, Detroit.
So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we send you down, there you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Onto the field now come the Bears. They've got the lead, and certainly a big reason. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Throwing on second down, Rodgers. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. He got 29 yards that time. Now, they've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now Jones. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here. This close, sneak it.
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Aaron Jones, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. and they're able to run it in. It started with the battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So that drive, 4 plays. And the last play in the drive was a touchdown run by Aaron Jones. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So here are the Bears to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. They start on the ground with McCaffrey. Telvin Smith that time there to make the play.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Here we go.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Ryan. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Mike Daniels able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Landry now on the return. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Lions will take over. So here come the Lions now. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Rodgers now on 1st down. Open man here, Sims complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle on the outside and go for big yardage.
Running right, Jones. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Here's Jones. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Watch a slap. Watch a slap.
Now it's Rodgers. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Drops it to Jones in the flat. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker. It'll be a gain of 4, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. That's running out of steam. Just short, no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Down here in the 3rd quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the 2nd miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
They find some open field here. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very solid gain of 27. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there, and I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here.
1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Ryan. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking...
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over. Now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Looking deep downfield, and that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary can really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers. A dump underneath to Jones. 7 yards on the play, and it'll make it a second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
He wasn't ready.
And it's 3rd down.
18. Right, 58, right there. Off the block, off the block, off the block.
They'll go again to Jones. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I liked his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10.
65.
Throwing now is Rodgers. The throw taken in by Sims. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. Up as the game goes along, you control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
To throw is Rodgers. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football.
And look at this. He's going to keep it. And he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage.
Anytime a fake doesn't work, we usually focus our attention on the guys that were unsuccessful. But how about the defensive guys? They have to plan all week. They have to prepare all week. Special teams, they look like they were educated for that one.
Educated on their toes and getting a big stop. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Mike Daniels in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Now Ryan. That's to McCaffrey, complete. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. From midfield now, here's Ryan. And he's got it complete to Anderson. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
Then we got to give a little tip of the cap for the defense there. Zone coverage, locked it in tight, made it really difficult because they tried the crossing route against it, and it worked for a completion, but you have to know where the sticks are on 3rd down. Didn't get beyond them, no pickup.
They've gone to the 4th quarter now in Dallas. Now you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. A victory there would mean they're 6th on the year. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time,
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. Now a 1st down run is sniffed out from the start as they'll drop him for a loss of 4. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
I know they got a little yardage there, but I'm not sure their investment is right. They're still running the football, and I'm not sure there's enough time to continue to do that.
Now Rodgers. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 17-yard line. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. Rodgers to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Landry that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. One final try now for Rodgers. And it's incomplete, but there is still 2 seconds left in this ball game, so they'll have one final shot. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. With 2 seconds left in regulation, this to force overtime. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. With 2 seconds left in regulation, this to force overtime. And he's not able to come through. This is no good. And that is how this game comes to a close. Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game, What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you?
I
loved
did.
the defenses.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.
So for the Bears, it's an important win in terms of staying in the postseason race as they move to 6-4. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for Detroit, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles